Today we're checking out the parole hearings of two offenders. The first is Bridget Delaughter, who was sentenced to 9 years for 3 counts of cruelty to a juvenile. The second offender is Anthony Russell, who was sentenced to 20 years for forcible rape of a 12-year-old. He was 19 and got her pregnant. Let's check it out.
Bridget Delaughter, 770129.
Delaughter, you are a first felony offender who was sentenced to 9 years for the offense of cruelty to a juvenile, 3 count.
Yes, sir.
You got 3, 3, and 3 to run consecutive.
Yes, sir.
You have a parole date of 12/3/24, a good time date of 10/27/25, and a full term date of 9/3/31. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Lauder, for the record, tell us what got you in there, why you serving time, what you did, and why do you think we should release you today?
Yes, sir. Well, I started back working at a daycare, and I was working there. I did love my job, but I also did the wrong thing by putting my hands trying to discipline other people's kids when it was wrong. I popped one child on the rear end, on their butt. I popped one on the leg. And I'm not proud of that at all.
Okay. And why do you think we should let you out today, Mr. Lauder?
Because I finally was able to hold myself accountable for my actions after I sit there and put myself in the shoes of those parents, because at first, I wasn't understanding. But because I have my own children, and so once I put, the other shoe on the foot, then I understood completely. And I mean, I've learned a lot out of this, and would I go back and change it? Yes, I would. I definitely would. And I do sincerely apologize. And I know I can't take it back.
Okay, Mr. Lauder, your case has been assigned to me, so I'll be leading the questioning today.
Yes,
How old are you?
36.
Okay, and how long have you served on this charge? How long you been in jail?
Exactly 2 years as of September the 7th.
2 years. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you were working at Noah Ark Daycare, and that's where this happened?
Yes, sir.
Were there any other incidents that wasn't reported?
No, sir, not that I know of.
Okay. Well, did you hit any of the other kids?
No, sir.
Okay, just these 3. And you were trying to discipline them, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said you have 3 kids of your own. Do you still have contact with those children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I need to note for the record that the sheriff, the DA, and the sentencing judge are all opposed. Mr. Roderick Brown, your husband, is unopposed. Where is your husband today?
He's in St. Francis Medical Center.
Okay, he has a medical issue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's why he's not here today?
Yes, sir.
What kind of classes have you taken?
I actually have not had the opportunity to take any classes, but I had done 2 courses online. One is anger management and one for the parenting. I wasn't aware they had those until last month, and they said if our job allowed us that we could do the courses, and I've had done one course of each.
Okay. I see you have lots of support letters.
Yes, sir.
During work release, how much have you saved?
I think my account last time I looked was at almost $1,400.
Okay, where do they have you working at?
I actually work at Sonic, and I actually just got a second job 5 days ago, working at Quality Inn.
Okay.
And I plan to keep both. I have been allowed to ask to keep both of those upon release.
Have you been sending any money home, or it's been mainly for your?
I've sent 200 home to help with the school. I was needed to ask to help with the school, so I helped with I sent $200 out of my account. We were having problems with that because we don't have my children's birth certificates, and I have to have that here to send money home. But she allowed me the first time to do it.
Okay, who has your kids now?
Their dad has them, but their uncle is watching over them because their dad has been in the hospital for the past week due to his medical issues.
Okay. I have no further questions. Do either of my colleagues have any questions?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Renata.
Good morning, Ms. Delaughter.
Good morning.
I'm glad to hear you had the opportunity for work release, and it seems as though you're doing well there.
Yes, ma'am.
So how long had you worked at Noah's Ark?
On and off, maybe 6 months.
What type of training did you receive when you went to work there?
None.
What was your job title? Did you have a job title?
A caregiver.
So what is it that you actually, what were you responsible for?
You're responsible for doing reading to the kids, feeding breakfast and lunch. You would interact with the kids all day, take them outside, potty training if they were, of age to potty train.
How many kids normally were at that center in a day?
That I don't have a correct answer to.
20 or more or less?
In one room.
In the whole place?
20, probably more than 20.
Okay. And so were you assigned certain children to be responsible for in your room?
Yes, ma'am.
I see. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry I missed it. How old are your own children?
My son will be 14 in November, and I have 2 girls that are 15 and 16.
And they're all, well, right now with the uncle, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And what is your level of education?
I do have my GED. I don't have a high school diploma, but I do have my GED.
Did you get that before you came to jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you mentioned your work release job. Is that in Tallulah? Where is that at?
West Monroe.
Okay. And you're gonna and your home, your residence is near Vidalia?
No, ma'am. I'm gonna be residing in West Monroe.
Is that where your husband lives?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Prater?
I'm just trying to figure out what you're remorseful for having done this, but the police reports from the limited amount that I have been able to find, it just says that you had a paint stick, a little flat paint stick, and you hit the kids with that.
Yes, sir.
Fill me in more, because it could be just a little tap with it, or it could be hitting them with, I mean.
I was just, tapping them. I wasn't hitting them hard. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I understand this is a big day for you, and it's been a big couple years for you.
Yes, sir.
Was it leaving the mark?
No, sir. I've never left a mark on any of them.
Okay. I don't have any questions. That's all I.
Okay, I'm gonna move for an executive session. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Call roll, please.
Sharon Malcolm,
Yes.
Steve Freeman,
Yes.
Steve Frame.
Yes.
Delaughter, to discuss confidential matters. We'll be back with you in a second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Delaughter, it's time to vote now, and I will be voting first because I was the one who signed your case.
Yes, sir.
You know, I hear your remorse, Ms. Delaughter. I think you are very remorseful.
Yes, sir.
We wasn't given a ton of information to go on, besides they were hit with the little paint stick.
Yes, sir.
And it's tough. We have no comments from the victims. So my vote today is going to be, you're a first felon offender. My vote today is going to be to grant. But wait, listen, I'm just one vote now. My vote is to grant with the special condition that you go to Monroe Day Reporting Center and you take a parenting class in person. I don't want it online. I want it in person.
Yes,
And if
sir.
they have anger management, I would suggest you take that too.
Yes, sir.
It's a very helpful class.
They were the ones online, they helped me a lot as well.
All right. So that's my vote today. I vote to grant with those two special conditions, no contact with the victims whatsoever.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want you going back to Vidalia either.
No, sir.
You understand? Stay out of our.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's my vote. Ms. Renatza?
Ms. Delaughter, I can hear in your voice that you are remorseful for what happened. And as Mr. Freeman said, with what we have to go on, my vote, and you've been doing very well in work release, and I'm glad that you're going to have that opportunity to keep that at least one of those jobs. My vote today also is to grant. You have a low risk score with the same special conditions Mr. Freeman outlined for you. Good luck.
Mr. Prater.
I've got of course, anytime you talk about child abuse and all, everyone's nostrils flare, and everyone is nobody wants anything to do with that.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Everybody says it's wrong. In this case, we've been given, I think, limited information about what occurred. Most of the information I have has come from you, as a matter of fact,
yes,
in the way that you describe it. I know that you are a low risk on all of the testing that they've done. I know that you've agreed not to have any contact or even be in the parish with the parents or the kids over there. We've had no victim input whatsoever. None of the parents have called and wanted to appear at the hearing or even write us letters, which they had an opportunity to. We've got quite a few letters of support of your co-workers where you work at the Sonic and the other places. You're a first felony offender, never been in trouble before in your life. I think you're truly remorseful. And although I have, to be honest with you, Bridget, I've looked for a reason not to support you, okay? Because of the fact that, but I can't see, you're going to be out in less than a year anyway. And I think that, and we can't control that. You're going to be out. Your good time's going to allow you to be out by the state of Louisiana laws. And so having said all of those things, my vote is to grant you parole.
Okay, been granted today with the special conditions. Now you've been given an opportunity. So calm down and make sure you follow all those recommendations. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the parole has been granted by a vote of 3-0. We'll be concluding at Ouachita Parish. Today, we're here for the parole hearing on Anthony Russell. Mr. Russell, would you state your name and DLC number for the record?
Anthony Russell, 538043.
I'm gonna read some stuff into the record. And if you disagree with something, stop me and we'll see if we can get it corrected, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Russell, you are a first felony offender. You were sentenced to 20 years for forcible rape. Your parole date is 8/15/2024. Your full term date is 8/16/2027. Is that all correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Russell, you have supporters here in Linda Simon, your mother, who is on Zoom, and Stephen Smarella, who is also on Zoom. We will get to them at the proper time. But first, I want you to tell us, what did you do to get yourself in jail? And why do you think that we should release you today?
Well, first, I had sexual intercourse with an underage minor. And I realize now that I did wrong. I wish I could turn back and do it over, but I can't. All I could do is move forward. And I've had people support me the whole time. And now I need to get back out into society and try to take care of my family.
Okay, and why do you think we should release you?
I think I've changed. I've grown up. I've taken some classes, got my GED. I took another class, the risk management class, and I just want to show people that I changed. I've grown up.
Okay. All right. We're going to hear from your supporters now. We're going to hear from Miss Linda Simon, your mother. Miss Simon, try to keep it to three or 4 minutes, please, ma'am.
Hello. It's been hard. My son's been gone for 17 years. He's lost a lot of family while he was gone. And I've seen how much he's grown up being in there. And his whole family just wants to get him back home. He's got a place to stay. He's got a job waiting on him. And I need his support and help because I'm going through a lot of medical conditions too right now.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you joining us today. Mr. Stephen Smarella, Mr. Stephen?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, state your name and tell us what you have to say about Mr. Russell.
Yes, I'm Stephen Smarella. I've known Anthony for approximately 9 years. I've been, going and, visiting every chance to get at the prison systems that he's been in. We always try to make sure to see him whenever we are available to go see him. It's a long drive for us because live in another state, but I mean, he's really meant a lot to me and everything and all that. I own my own business. I have since 1990, and I want, I'd like to get him home. I'm at the age where I'll be 62 this year, and I would like to go ahead and let him just eventually go ahead and take over running my business and everything for me. And all it's getting harder on me each year. He's always, been real supportive as far as checking and calling a lot during the weeks and weekends just to see how it's doing and everything else. Really concerned and all. I really have basically. I feel like he's almost like one of my other sons and everything and all. Treating that way the same and everything. He's really respectful and a good person from everything I've seen since I've known the gentleman.
Okay. And where do you live, sir?
I live in Pasadena, Texas.
Okay, your business is in Texas?
Yes, sir. It's been since 1990.
Do you have a place for him to stay over there if he's released today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for coming on today, Mrs. Morella. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
now the case has been assigned to Mr. Prater. Mr. Prater, would you lead our questioning, sir?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Russell.
Good afternoon.
How old were you when this crime occurred?
19.
So you were 19 and the young lady was, she was 12 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and she ended up getting pregnant, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's how it all came to light.
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear you say anything much about, I heard you talk about yourself, your personal growth and all this. I didn't hear you say much about the victim and how do you have any kids?
No, sir.
Okay. Can you imagine? I mean, I've had kids, daughters and granddaughters, and they've been 12 and if I'd have heard what you said and you never even mentioned how sorry you were for having impacted my family, I would really be questioning whether prison had done you that much good or not, other than your personal growth. And everybody's going to have growth between those years and 37 and 21. Tell me about the victim. What do you think about the victim?
All I can say is I'm just very sorry that if I could take it back, I would. I know it probably affected them to probably till this day, still probably having problems, but I'm just deeply sorry.
Yes. I can assure you, it didn't probably affect them. I can assure you from everything I've read, it tremendously affected them. I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Renata, do you have any questions?
I do, just a couple. Mr. Russell, you mentioned early in your statement that you know what you did was wrong. You now know what you did was wrong. And so at the time when you were 19 and she was 12, you thought it was okay to have sex with a 12-year-old?
No, ma'am.
You mentioned you did risk management. Is that the sex offender treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you do that?
At Avoyles Correctional Center.
Okay. When did you do that? You remember?
I got my certificate July 22nd, 2009.
So you did that, yeah, some years ago. And I see you also got your GED since you've been in prison. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. There's very, very strong opposition to consideration for early release for you. You just need to be aware of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than that, I have no other questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, and I think y'all touched on the question I had. I wanted to know about the sex offender classes too. So you took them right after you got into prison, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that was all 3 phases back then, probably.
No, sir. It was 4 phases.
It was still 4 phases. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up for me. Okay, I have no further questions. So is the panel ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Prater, it was your case. You go first, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Russell, I think you've grown a lot. I think you've done a lot as far as working on yourself personally. However, I don't think you, due to the impact it had on this young lady and her family, and due to the fact that I didn't hear the compassion for the victim that I personally would have expected. For those reasons, I'm gonna vote to deny.
Mr. Knotson?
Mr. Russell, based on the opposition that's in the record, strong, very strong opposition to an early release, my vote today also is to deny.
And I concur with my colleagues. My vote is also to deny. So I'm sorry, today parole has been denied. Good luck to you, Mr. Russell.
Thank you.
If you like this video, consider liking, consider subscribing. Until next time.